Okay, here we go. In round 2 against Tabula Rasa, the blank slate. Hello and good luck. And sadly, we have a mole. My opponent is playing first. Alright, so that's very helpful. In the mole. And then here we have a keep. We have some 3s. There we go. My opponent's playing white. We saw another white opponent earlier. Ooh, and a 2-drop. That's very nice. We'll leave with the mountain, because we like lots of mountains. Academy Raiders will probably come down and get rid of the Minotaur Abomination if I'm not getting lands online. That's okay. I will take life gain all day, every day. And the fact that the Angelic Wall doesn't block the Fire Cat is pretty good also. Alright, but we are playing against an enchantment deck, conceivably, so we'll see just how good that ends up being. For now, I'll put the Fire Cat on, because it still means my opponent has to be putting down more creatures to deal with these guys. Versus playing the Academy Raiders. Gain 2 life. Because the Academy Raiders probably is going to end up doing more in the game, because I'm sure some creature of some sort is coming down. Ooh, nothing. I like that, especially with the Canyon Minotaur backup. There's no flash creatures, there's certainly tricks, and these are kind of my dinky creatures that I'm happy to have tricked. Alright, so my opponent's a little bit on the back foot. Is there going to be a Wrath? Probably not, since I still have creatures in hand. I'm not going to let up on the pressure. Because if my opponent wants to Wrath, and then I play another land and get a Battle Sliver and Minotaur Abomination on board, I'm cool with that. Ooh, Singular Vampire. That's a good card. That does mean I want to add some pressure. Raglan Cat is going to trade with the Vampire. I think I'm going to put the Lightning Talons on my Child of Night. I could play it a little bit safe, just attacking with the Fire Cat and probably have the Angelic Wall do some work. And I could do Academy Raiders this turn and then Lightning Talons on it. However, my opponent's playing black, and therefore there's probably a lot of removal. I think right now what I do is just put so much pressure on my opponent, gain 5 life with a Child of Night. Might still do a chump block here, that's fine, but then the cat gets through unless my opponent wants to actually block with the Sanguinary Vampire. And I think that's what I want to do. Yeah, I want to be aggressive. My opponent took a little while, and if I can continue to be this aggressive, then that will really help allow me to take advantage of the already quick start I have. I'm certainly opening myself up to a 2-for-1 here, with my opponent untapping with like a Pacifism or Doomblade or any other weaker removal spell. But I'm okay with that, because here we're doing a 9-point life swing because of it, and that's exactly what I want out of my enchantments when I play them first turn, because that's exactly what I needed, to do a 9-point life swing and remove an Angelic Wall. And then if my opponent does remove the Child of Night, I 2-for-2'd and did a 9-point life swing, and that's about it. Minotaur Abomination comes down. Kind of holds a little bit of the proceedings for sure. Lets my opponent stabilize, but still really can't be attacking or doing a whole lot. My opponent's tapped out. That allows me to attack in with the Fire Cat and the Child of Night again, and then Volcanic Geyser the Minotaur when it blocks. Deals 2 points. And then either they trade, still 2 from, but then I'm getting this Child of Night in. Yeah, I'm staying on the aggressive. And again, my opponent's tapped out right now, so I feel very comfortable doing this sort of attack. And my opponent has to see something there, but kind of still, that just forces my opponent to go like, oh shit, well I have to do this. Normally I'm not okay with just 2-for-1, especially such a strong removal spell, but putting myself that much in the lead and getting a major board stall out of the way, I think it's going to be very good. I mean, at this point at 7 life, the Academy Raider can start, come down and win the game out with me at 34 life. So we'll see. That being said, Singer Vampire removal spell really helps stabilize my opponent. Now Quag Sickness, or what you might call it, the Corrupt, I think, is one of the big black ones. There's even just the 5 mana drop, destroy something. That's an issue. Luckily, this Corpse Hauler is going to come down now and make things even better. The Child of Night is still able to bash through. Even if there's a combat trick, I want to keep the pressure on. And again, it's already done sort of its work, the Lightning Talon, Child of Night combo. So we're just going to keep it going here. Opponent gains no life. We remove it unless, oh, here comes the combat trick. We're looking, oh no, just looking to draw out. Okay, still saved life. Drew out some cards. Do I want the Raiders or the Corpse Hauler on board? I think the Raiders are going to be a lot better at this point. To be able to loot away like this Minotaur Abomination and give me more options in the next couple of turns. So did my opponent dig out a removal spell? An Auramancer. Getting nothing. Just another chumper. That's good. Hey, there's a Doomblade. Alright. I assume another chump, and then if for some reason a pump comes down, I'm okay with that. Okay, I'm gonna ditch the Minotaur Abomination. Hey, and we got a Mauler. Do I want to keep Doomblade up? No, I just want to add pressure. Because I'd rather do this to close out a game than show my opponent that I do have the Doomblade. And now my opponent is just flooding out. Yeah, that was it. And more lands? Yeah. Tabula Rasa. The blank slate, just add no lands. Or too many lands, rather. So, what did we see? What did we see? Cat Mirrors will be fine against my opponent. I'm not too sure how quick my opponent's deck is with all that flooding that went down. Shock should be good if my opponent's trying to do the Auramancer thing. Really, the Angelic Wall I'm a little bit worried about. But it kind of seems like my opponent's trying to gum up the ground and then also do, you know, a big airstrike with a vampire or something else after some kind of enchantments happen. I kind of like Ring Flash against my opponent, but I don't think I see anything I want to get rid of necessarily. I want to keep the 2 drops on board. Yeah, I'm going to keep it the way it is right now. I haven't seen really enough of my opponent's deck to really warrant doing anything drastic to mine, so that's fine. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to shock this. I'm going to have to get rid of this. All I have is a shock to play, and no swamp. It relies me on grabbing a swamp. Yeah, getting a swamp gets me 2 of my 2 drops, but I just can't do that. Ugh, and I definitely can't do this. Alright, well, 2 drop and then some 3s. That's the most you could ask for from a 5-card hand. And luckily we are on the draw, so that'll be good. Hey, that's exactly what I don't want to see. Alright, so variance might allow my opponent to even out this match here. That'll be very good. Now that we have our 3s on board, things can be okay for us. Griffin Sentinel, alright, that holds back my Corpse Hauler. Question is, do I just want to get aggro with my Rakathan Firecat? Yeah, I think I do. Might even draw out a removal spell or something, but I'll probably just have it trade with the Griffin Sentinel. That's fine. I'm not blocking with the Dragon Egg right now, so that's okay. Don't really need that. Ooh, now I'm a little more worried, because now there's a put together 4/4 flying vigilance, but luckily Rakathan Firecat, well, not luckily, but at least Rakathan Firecat can still be attacking in while this happens. We'll see how this race continues. Very glad to have this. One more swamp gets the Cockatrice able to deal with something if for some reason like this Firecat gets blocked and then eats a combat trick or something. But it doesn't, so we'll just continue to progress the board with our pressure. Still can't attack in with it, with the Candy Minotaur, but at least should this Griffin Sentinel go away, there is some good offense coming right back at you. Hey, and that was a wonderful draw. So I will continue to bash into the Firecat. Keep the race going, and then I'll have a blocker to get rid of the Griffin Sentinel. Alright, a little bit even there. I have shock up. Don't want to miss my shock, do you now? Child of Night? Irrelevant at the moment. Should have waited till after combat to play that, I presume. But oh, my opponent's not playing anything, so that makes perfect sense. Ooh, Volcanic Geyser, so that will hang on to. Do I just attack in with the Cockatrice? My opponent blocks. Oh, no. I do like keeping the pressure on. I just don't want to trade off my Firecat with the Child of Night. So I'll just keep it back. I think I will just attack with the Death Gaze Cockatrice. Is that correct? No. We'll play it safe. We'll just get our Dragon Egg down. Pass the turn. No reason to get too greedy here. Mind Rot would be bad. Or Duress, for that matter. And those are cards that people are playing. Really don't want that Volcanic Geyser to go to waste. It might be appropriate that now that I play the egg and I just want to keep pressure, I could just do a Volcanic Geyser on the Child of Night or something. Though that's kind of changed now that the Pillarfield Ox is here. Just would love one more land. Oh, well, it's actually pretty good too. Or is it? This will be key later. Griffin Sentinel can't block, attack with Death Gaze Cockatrice, but actually I just want this to block the Griffin Sentinel, because that's my real worry right now. Yeah, so we'll hang on to it for now. Goblin Shortcut we're just going to keep as a trick. But everyone drawn to some sweet spells. The ground's gummed up, it's official. It's all about the air. Ooh, what you got? Tap any more untapped creatures you control. Put a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying onto the battlefield for each creature tapped this way. Alright, so Volcanic Geyser is going to take out two things here, because we're going to make sure to get rid of the Child of Night, and then, I would love to get the Griffin Sentinel out of the way, but I can't do that. Arguably could have just saved it for, to the face, but my opponent's a little too far away from it at that point. Means my opponent can only get 2 4/4 angels. I say only, somewhat jokingly. Hey, Minotaur Abomination. That's doing nothing. I'll attack in with a Firecat, because again, I'm happy for that to trade. Yeah, that'll be good. Get 4 points of damage in, I presume. Oh, no. Interesting. Well, that's very good for me. Now if my opponent tries to attack in, I can just block. I need to get this Dragon Egg dead. Let's see. Do I block with my Death Gaze Cockatrice? Or not? Yeah, we're just gonna have to Corpse Hauler it back. I just gotta get the flyers out of the way. Kind of a bummer. I want to use my mana a little bit differently, but it'll be fine. And we play the slow, grindy game. Hey, Lightning Talons. That will be good. After we get our Death Gaze Cockatrice down. So we get him on board. Sorry about that little interruption there. And then we have our defenses up. trade again or something. Hope we get a Dragon's Egg online. And then Lightning Talons should also do very good, allow us to continue to attack and win. Though I'm going to wait until my opponent's tapped out or something, because there's going to be removal spells or something happening here. So I will play it safe. Do I have time to play it safe, though? That's kind of the question. I'm just going to keep progressing the board, and if I attack with Deathgaze Cockatrice now... Well, I'm going to do this next turn. I'm fine with waiting on that. If I attack with Deathgaze Cockatrice now, then I take 4 in the backswing. That's kind of why it matters, because I'm kind of low. 3-turn clock, blah, 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 blah. There's Quag Sickness, yes. I think I care a little bit more on the race of having my Lightning Talons on something big. I can play it now, do 6 points of damage, possibly? I'm on a 2-turn clock now, and I really need to make it matter. And I think what I do is put Lightning Talons on the Minotaur, Canyon Minotaur, 6, so that my opponent has to trade it with the Griffin Sentinel, or would have to double block here, and then it would still kill it. Yeah, and that'll be good. Yeah, that's going to be the play. And I'm going to save the Goblin Shortcutter still. Okay, my opponent just chumps, which kind of works in my opponent's favor. 6, we only have 8 points of damage coming across, but this Child of Night will gain that extra turn's worth of life, which will be nice. Ooh, no, more blocking. That is not good. But it will still allow me to like trade Child of Night with the Oromancer. Oh, but Quag Sickness comes back? That's a bummer. Alright, that is definitely a bummer. This is gonna be hard. Take 4. A little bit of hope. Swamp is good. So for sure, I'm going to play the Goblin Shortcutter to make Minotaur Abomination not be able to block. I attack him with the Canyon Minotaur and the Child of Night just to gain some life. Yep, kind of have to. So my opponent can either trade here, probably won't. I'll gain some life here, and I have some good blockers still. One more swamp is just going to kill the Canyon Minotaur anyway. Okay. It's down to 7. Still kind of there. Play Academy Raider. Pass the turn. Don't see myself getting out of this, but you never know. Doomblade would be very helpful here. It's not a Doomblade, buddy boy. So let's see. Attack in with the Academy Raider, which allow me to discard my Swamp and grab a Doomblade. Yes. Hey! There's the Doomblade. Absolutely lucky. And that's why you play the outs. Woohoo! Let's see if I can still stay alive. Got a couple. Ah, nope. Didn't matter. Oh well. We each had some pretty sweet guys there. Alright, gotta be conscious of my time here in the next game. So that was a little bit under. My opponent does have a lot of removal, so could be that Lightning Talons isn't awesome, but I only have Lightning Talons and Shiv's Embrace, so it's debatable. Ring Flesh can be good. No artifacts. Outflying, that's not going to be a big deal. No, I still think the power level of Lightning Talons is fine if I'm just aware. It just definitely has to be one that hangs out in my hand. It's more like, I mean, these guys are my 5 and 6 drops. But since I don't have a lot of 5 and 6 drops, I'm actually okay with that. Cool. We'll ring it back again. and try not to mull. Yes, I want to play first. We're not going to mull. I have a 2-drop, a removal spell, and then we'll get this 5 on board. Yeah, I don't have any black, but again, light black spells. There's not that many in my deck. And, ooh, now my opponent's doing the mull thing. Ooh, down to 5, but still in a draw, kind of like where I was at. Quack Sickness, not awesome. Gonna need some swamps to make that even closely relevant. Hey, that's not awesome either. Just pass through the turn. My opponent only has plains or up. There comes the swamp. Griffin Sentinel. I will go ahead and Flames of the Firebrand that, even though I have the Death Gaze Cockatrice. I think something else. I'd rather just have a play instead of the removal. But I'll kind of keep it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we're going to get to the Quag Sickness relatively soon enough. I think I just Flames it now, keep the pressure on. I just don't want any targets for like an enchantment or something. If my opponent having mold, if I can just sort of 1 for 1 my opponent, I should be able to be a little bit more online here. And yeah, 1 more swamp gets the Cockatrice and Quag Sickness kind of relevant, so that should be good. Plus having my 5-drop for sure here is going to be good. Keep bashing with the short cutter, get as much value as I can out of the guy. Battle Sliver here, and then start the beats on. Pacifism, yep, that's what you want to pacify for sure. And I'm glad because I kind of want my flyers a little bit more active than anything else. And now we have that. Just keep whittling away. Okay. Big scary singer vampire? Hopefully not. Ooh, Master Diversion. You know, Quag Sickness probably isn't going to get a whole lot of extra love in the near future anyway, so I feel like I just kill the Master Diversion. But I also don't mind Goblin Shortcutter trading with it, so yeah, let's just do that. Play Goblin Diplomats. We're going to have a 2-1 attacking in again later anyway, so... I totally forgot the Goblin Diplomats. That is a good card. Play it, as well as the Dragon. There we go. I'm just trying to flood my opponent with different threats before any kind of stabilizing play comes through. Ox isn't going to be that play, because the flyer game is going to become much more relevant here. There you go. And then we'll make my opponent attack. And if that'll allow the Dragon Egg to become something, as well as you know, my opponent could tap down the Maulhorn or something. So my opponent doesn't want that guy around. I'm cool with that. Block here, block here. I guess, you know, I probably just should have taken the 4 damage. I don't really care about the 4. I was going to be a little greedy trying to eat the Pillar-Filled Ox, because if there's any sort of trick or something that could have gotten it, but I think that was a little bit on the confidence side on my part. And yeah, my opponent's kind of desperately looking for an out here. Did you find one? Tabula rasa. Let's see what that out may or may not be. 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe? No, just 3. Quag sickness? Quag sickness. Ah, I see. Doing the math to try to stay a little bit alive. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Still lethal. So I'm not too sure what happened. Oh yeah, I think my opponent just did that. Ooh, pretty sweet hands here. Pretty interesting with the planar cleansing and such. So my opponent did have it, which is kind of interesting to know. Could have gotten pretty blown out, though we were drawing a lot of creatures. But cool. On to the finals.